Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Bramble Fox. And for this layout I'm using the Fox Box Plus for June 2024. So not only have you got all these great titles in the Fox Box Plus, you've also got these paper snips and this awesome stencil as well. I really wanted to use the stencil. I think more rags excelled herself, so I'm going to start with that. I'm using 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbet as the base there, and I've picked the word relax from the perspectives, and I'm just trying to map out where I want to use the stencil. So I'm thinking I'm going to build a cluster in the center, and at the moment, did you see I actually had just the stencil lay on the base layer just so I'd got an idea, because I actually want some of the stencil to show. I don't know about yourself, but sometimes when I've done mixed media in the past, I find that once I built the layout, I actually end up covering a lot of that up. So to try and avoid that, I've got an idea of how I want the layout to look already with those layers in the center. So that way the stenciling should show when I've got it finished. Famous last words, but no, it will show. So I've got some distress oxides there on the right, and I'm just taping down my stencil with a little bit of washi tape. Now I've been a bit cautious and I've only taped it down where I know the base layer is going to be covered, just in case it did pull off any of the image of the patterned paper. I don't think it will, but I just wanted to be sure. So rather than taping all the way around it, I've just taped it at the bottom. Also, the good thing about taping it in one place, you can see what I've done there. I can flip it up and actually see how the colour is looking. So I don't know about yourself, but I'm quite a timid mixed media scrapper. So stencils are right up my street because I feel like it's quite a non-messy way of doing mixed media, and I'm not very good at messy. So the fact that I can just come in with these brushes and various coloured inks means that I can actually just build up the colour slowly and take my time. It's the only piece of this pattern paper that I've got, so I don't want to mess it up. But I can, as I get more confident, I can actually build up the colour on that background there. So I'm just gently coming in with that. You'll see that I've got a piece of scrap copy paper underneath the ink pad on the left, and that's because I quite often like to dab off the first harsh amount of ink because I actually want soft lines. So it's just it just dabs off the worst, so it makes it softer on the brushes. I'm also using one brush per colour. That means I can come backwards and forwards in with them without it going a little bit muddy looking. So as I get more confident, I'm extending those rays further and further up the cardstock. But as you can see, this video is speeded up a tiny bit, but it isn't actually taking me much time at all to get that colour down. And these distress oxides are really good for this sort of thing. I'm really liking the way that this is looking, and I'm just going to ease that stencil off for a moment, come back in with the start of my cluster, and I'm going to decide that actually I want to add some more of the stenciling below the photograph. So I'm using the same bit of washi tape to tape that stencil into position. So to get your hands on this stencil, it is in the June 24 Fox Box Plus. So check out the website, which is bramblefox.co.uk. Have a look at the subscriptions for the Foxbox and the Foxbox Plus, and also there's subscriber deals as well, and discounts and benefits. So I really would recommend you check those out in store. So I'm doing exactly the same as I did at the top, but I feel that my confidence is growing the more I use it. So I'm just tapping off that ink and coming back in at the bottom there. So you might have noticed that I've used yellow, orange and a pink. You'll see that these colours go really well together, and that's probably one of the reasons that 49 and Market use them and combine them in some of their pieces for the Spectrum Sherbet range, because they're adjacent colours on the colour wheel. I don't know as a scrapper whether you've actually thought about or looked at colour wheels in the past, but colours that are opposite each other and things go together, but actually colours that are next to each other also go together really well. I think they call them adjacent colours, and it's actually a term, I'm sure. So yellow, orange, and red. So essentially, I'm using pink, but they're all on the same part of the colour wheel, so you know that they're going to go and sit well together. So that's another area of confidence for me, that I'm actually using colours I know by colour theory actually go well together. So this and they all blend really well. So that's the stenciling all done. This is a really cracking stencil. It's number 101 if you are interested in knowing that. Not sure if it's got a name yet. I haven't seen a name, but I'm sure it will have a lovely name when it gets it. So I've come in with the paper snips and some bits and pieces from the 49 and Market ranges. With older collections, I tend to keep everything together. So I think most of it is Spectrum Sherbet, but I do apologise if I've actually got a couple of bits from other ranges, because as I say, I keep them together. So I'm just bringing in, you see there's not many of the sheets are actually full, but I want to include as many bits and pieces as I can, and I want to include the 3 colours that I talked about earlier. So I'm just adding a piece of pattern paper there that's got lots of yellowy oranges on. I think that also adds to it and echoes in the stenciling. So I chose the word relax. This is a picture of my daughter. She's an avid reader, and when she gets a chance or she's not at work, this is how you'll find her. And I thought, when I saw the word relax, I thought this would be absolutely perfect to document her love of reading. So at the moment, I'm still tucking in some layers. Got a thing about getting lots of layers on at the moment. So, I like to use as many bits and pieces up as if I can. So I'm just going through some of these tags, see if I can add them in as well to hold the title there. And I particularly like that one that looks like a colour swatch. It's got all the colours on that I've been using, so it will be in. Off camera, I've cut an ampersand there. That's just out of some black foam. I thought "and relax" sounded like a really good title. I also found some pattern paper books that I've hand cut out. They're from a very old Paige Taylor Evans range. In fact, from the time when I don't think she put the names of her ranges on her papers, about 2016, that I still had in my stash. So I've cut out some of those books, and I'm going to tuck them in either side. And there's an open book behind the title. So I think I like the way that's going to look. Just seeing if I can tuck in 2 or 3 on each side. And yet again, I've gone with those adjacent colours that are all over the layout. So it should all complement itself. I'm going to cut this tag up in the end. I'm going to pop it top and bottom in the layout just to square it off a little bit more so it doesn't end up too long and thin across the centre. But I don't want to cover up the stenciling. As I say, that you do mixed media and you cover it up. I don't want to be covering that up. So off camera, I've stuck the cluster together, and I'm now just doing the finishing touches so that I can get the lovely perspective title on and get the little books tucked in either side. I'm just adding a little bit of floss to the top of the tag there so I can get that into position. It's giving me a bit of trouble, but apart from that, I will get it sorted, and I'll get that stuck down too. So I'm just going to start to stick all this down to the base layer. I've got some double-sided tape there, and I'm going to attach the little books either side. I've stuck the word relax down. I've used the strong red tape for this one, and I've put a bit of glue on the back of the foam and ampersand. So I'm just looking at the books and looking at tucking them in there. So if you want to get your hands on this stencil, then I would recommend you subscribe to the Foxbox Plus. Do check it out on the website at bramblefox.co.uk. There's all the team are going to be creating with this box, so there will be lots of opportunities to see people using this stencil. So I'm nearly finished now. I'm quite pleased with the way that this is looking. I think the title is absolutely perfect. For a bit of self-care. You find there is a couple of paper snips on here as well, the good times that I put above the photo, and there was a little milk bottle of lemonade, and that's also from the paper snips. Just coming in with some black acrylic here, just a few little dots. As I say, still not wanting to cover up that mixed media, but just bringing in a bit more of the black. I've covered up the photograph so I don't catch it with any paint. This is the finished layout. Thank you so much for watching. There's going to be some close-ups as well, so you can have a good look. Please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up. Any questions, just add them in the comments and I'll come back and answer them for you. So thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you here again real soon. Bye for now.